Welcome to Brilliantly British. My name is Lawrence and today I'm going to show you how to make violet duck. So as I show you how to make it, in that chair of yours, put your feet up with a cup of tea in hand and enjoy this episode. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe. Once a year, couples around the world celebrate their love for one another by exchanging gifts and sharing a lovingly made dinner. For those of you watching, this year we've prepared something special for you to enjoy, namely violet duck. This vivid, brilliantly British creation combines spiced red cabbage with beetroot mash before being finally crowned with a perfectly cooked duck breast. As always, our dishes are simple and easy to prepare and gobsmackingly delicious. Wow. So, with the introductions made, allow me to introduce the ingredients to you. For today's Brilliantly British violet duck, you will need some carrots, beetroot, red cabbage, an orange, some potatoes, some cinnamon, a clove of garlic, some duck breast, homemade Brilliantly British butter. If you don't know how to make some, follow the link on screen now to learn how. You'll also need some soft brown sugar, and optionally, to thicken your sauce possibly later on, you will need some flour. And before I forget to mention, you will of course need some salt and some pepper to avoid the occurrence of bland food. That's it for the making of this Brilliantly British violet duck. But before you get started, before you do anything at all, switch on your kettle, brew yourself a nice cup of hot tea so that you can sip on that whilst you cook. So, first things first, off camera, I boiled some potatoes for mash later on, but for now we'll leave them in hot water in order to retain their heat, whilst I attend to the other elements of this dish. In another pot, in will go a grated carrot, sliced red cabbage, the zest of an orange, some beautifully fragrant cinnamon, as well as a drizzle of oil, followed finally by the addition of some water and salt, before leaving that to cook whilst covered over a medium heat, stirring occasionally. In the meantime, I'll cross-hatch the skin of my duck breast, which will encourage the fat to render out when cooking. After scoring the skin, I'll then season heavily with salt before using a spoon to encourage the salt into all nooks and crannies. The next thing to do involves pureeing the beetroot for the beetroot mashed potatoes. So, simply blend your beetroot with their juices as well as an occasional drizzle of oil until well and truly smooth. With the puree made, transfer to a bowl, placing to one side for later on. Garlic will play an important role in the making of our sauce. So, with a drizzle of oil and some salt, finely mince your garlic, which will be needed later on. Okay, we've worked hard thus far, so take a nice tea break, which should involve scrolling through all of the Brilliantly British content, making sure to like and subscribe as you browse. Okay, the pot now has the smallest amount of moisture left in it, which is perfect. And so, at this stage, I'll add my sugar and a knob of butter before tasting to see if anything at all was lacking. And, going off of my reaction, I think that it was perfect, so this will be kept warm for later on. After having drained the potatoes, begin to mash them with a lump of butter that I unfortunately forgot to film, before gradually adding your beetroot puree. As you can see, the colour of this thing is striking. The texture, I must admit, left much to be desired, so off camera I processed the mash using my food processor, which did wonders. I mean, look at this thing. Without getting carried away, I'll add salt and pepper to taste before placing this vivid mash somewhere warm and safe for later on. Alright, it's time to attend to the star of this episode, the duck breast. And so start by laying the breast skin side down with some oil, before starting to heat up the pan. Now, because you'll want to render out the fat, I'd advise starting the cooking in a cold pan, the same way we're supposed to cook bacon. Whilst the breast cooks, cover with a lid to reduce the amount of cleaning up you'll have to do, and to encourage the duck to cook faster. I should also mention that with the lid on, your duck will develop a slightly smoked flavour. After 3 minutes of being skin side down, I'll now turn the duck over, cooking now without the lid in order to preserve the crispy skin. After a further 3 minutes of cooking skin side up, I'll then transfer it to a plate with a lid in order to rest before slicing. Meanwhile, into our pan of rendered fat, I'll begin to fry my minced garlic over a medium-low heat before pouring in freshly squeezed orange juice. The contents should then at first be seasoned slightly with salt and then heavily with pepper to provide a nice uplifting kick. With the pepper added, I'll then add the tiniest amount of flour to thicken the sauce, plus a little brown sugar as an enhancer. Once the contents have thickened and reduced, I'll then gradually add some water to develop the right consistency. And with that done, I think I heard someone say somewhere, tasting, tasting, tasting. All right, are you ready? Are you steady? We're going to pour this beautiful peppery orange sauce onto this dish, and then we are going to dig in. We've got the sauce on and it smells wonderfully fruity and peppery at the same time. So let me get some cutlery. 3, 2, 1. Oh, wow. Oh, okay. Okay, it's clear to me now. This is wonderful. Wonderful, really. The duck. Oh, I'm the biggest fan of duck. And when it's cooked properly, it's a bit smoky, the skin is crispy, the fat has rendered beautifully, nicely salted, beautiful, really. Then we talk about the beetroot mash. That is smooth. It is the definition of smooth, really. It's got the beetroot coming through, and then you've got the potato coming through. It's just wonderful, and it's great to have the color as well going through it. Then you've got the cabbage, carrot, cinnamon. Oh, I don't even know what to call it. That is amazing. It's nice and warm and spicy in a nice way. And then to round everything off, you've got this orange pepper sauce, which is like no other sauce that you will have ever tried before. So please, after everything that I've said, I'm gonna finish this and I'm gonna enjoy it. Please, please, please make this dish, please. Thank you all for allowing me to show you how to make violet duck. Knowing that you like this episode, please don't forget to click on the like button, the subscribe button, and the notification button so that you don't miss any of our new releases. Tell everyone you know about the Brilliantly British food on this channel, and follow us on all of the social media platforms that this channel is on, and I will see you next time. For today's Brilliantly British violent